Okay. So I don't know what this is called. However, that's what I said yesterday. I don't know what this is called. But hey y'all, it's me Bree, aka Ecclesia. I am here with Miss Colette. Do you mind letting them know we're here? Mm-hmm. We are here together in a shelter, and we're just gonna put it out like that, in the shelter. But how we are still talking about, well, not middle child syndrome. However, she is a middle child, just like I am a middle child, and we were just discussing some of the things that we experienced growing up as middle children. So go ahead, Miss Colette. You can go ahead and take the floor a little bit. I will ask questions.
We ask questions. I don't know what to say.
We said how we grew up and how we basically had to be adults at such young ages. We were being parents. I was 10 years old when my nephew was born, and my sister had ran away from home. And I remember being the mom. Some days I couldn't go to school. I couldn't go to anybody's birthday party because I always had to watch my nephew and my younger brother. So, and Miss Colette said that she had went through the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I was 9. I was 9 when my little sister was born. So that I came over being mom. Mm-hmm. Okay. And no birthday parties, none of that. So we were cleaning and cleaning and
cooking and learning how to cook.
At
such a young age.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel like that might have affected you as an adult?
I think you get to a certain age and then you get tired of being an adult. Mm-hmm. And then you get yourself in trouble because you get tired of adulting.
You've been adulting for so long.
You've been adulting since you were a kid when you were kind of robbed of your childhood. Because I think we were robbed of our childhood.
You were robbed of our childhood.
Because we didn't get to just be kids.
No. So,
I got hit by a car going to go get groceries across the street in elementary school. I got hit by a car, and it's not that I didn't know how to cross the street.
It's just you can't never tell.
Yeah, you can't never tell. But and the groceries flew.
That's a trauma in itself.
Yeah, and then I was going back across the street to go get, because I bought stuff for sandwiches and stuff like that. And it seemed like my mom was making sure there was groceries in the house so that we could, she won't check. And so I had to walk across the street and go get groceries, and I went back across the street to go get like some Sprite and some chips and stuff like that. And my sister and I had never experienced that. We weren't allowed to have chips or candy or soda or none of that. We weren't never allowed to have it. So when I went across the street and to go do that, I got hit by a car. The soda bottle went down the road. I was lucky I wasn't killed. I went down the whole side of the car. Yeah. And all I was trying to do was go get the rest of lunch and the groceries for my older sibling and my younger sibling.
Right, and that is something that your parent, it could have been avoided. Yeah. Because if your parent would have got up and did it, then that's something that could have completely been avoided. Do you feel like that incident still holds a space in your heart where it's like, do you blame yourself or do you blame mom? Is that something that you've forgiven and said, okay, well,
I have forgiven, but I think that there's something. I think she has some unaddressed mental issues.
Right. Okay.
I do believe that she does, and it goes to that pride thing that we were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with her. It's wrong. Everything's wrong with everybody else. But there ain't no. Yeah. But
that's kind of what we got going on in my household, where it was everything is you. Didn't want to take any accountability for how you were raising. And then when you bring it up now is, I don't remember that. I forgot. What are you talking about? I don't remember that. You know what I'm saying?
That's because the one, they ain't going to take accountability. And if you ever notice when somebody does you wrong, they always paint you out to be the bad guy. Because they're not going to take accountability, because it takes a whole lot of
I don't know what it takes.
It takes a whole lot of self-reflection to admit that you're wrong, and you might have done something wrong, and admit it to yourself and to other people and say, you know what? maybe I didn't do the best job there, and I could have did a better job.
But they
and
don't.
A lot of people
think,
won't admit. They won't admit.
They won't admit it.
They won't
admit it, and I think that has a lot.
It's easier to paint you out to be the villain.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It is easier.
Or to say, I don't remember.
Yeah. To be
and
the
that's
monster.
that's not really. They don't remember. It's selective memory.
Right.
You know, they remembering what they want to, or remembering how they want to. And, you know, of course, when it's something that they have to take responsibility for, I don't remember.
Right. Sure. But I feel like personally, and I feel like, again, what you were saying, it's easier to paint someone else out to be the bad guy because it's hard for you to look in the mirror and say, I'm an awful person. I don't like who I am. Yeah, I don't like who I am anymore. And I think that's something that I've done already. You know, I've been in the mirror and said, you know what, I don't like who I am. I don't like the fact that I'm angry. I don't like the fact that I'm going through this. God, take it away from me. Heal me from this situation. Bring me back to a childlike innocence within myself. So that, because give me back what was stolen from me. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And through that, I learned to become the adult that I wish I had as a child. Yep. You see what I'm saying? That's true. So it's very true. The inside, you gotta, you know, if you feel like you want to color and paint and stuff like that.
If you hang on to the anger and the bitterness, you are letting that other person win. Yeah. So whoever has done you wrong, you are letting them win. And why would you let them win? Why would you let them steal the rest of your life when they already took a small part,
a huge portion of it? Yeah. But see, and then they don't want to face the reality that I might have hurt somebody like this. Somebody that I claim to love, I might have hurt them like this. And it's hard to look at things like that. Especially like some of the things that I've been through. I've been having to, you know, sit down and say, God, am I an awful person? Because that's what I did. You know, and then you'd be like, okay, well, no, you're not awful. But I think what makes it awful is if you can say, you can't say I'm an awful person. You know you're an awful person. You can't say I'm an awful person, but you still inflict pain onto other people. That makes you an awful person.
It gives you an ugly heart. And what made Satan and the fallen angels ugly? To me, you know what made them ugly? What? Their sin. Yeah. Okay. What got them kicked out of heaven? Pride. Yeah, pride. They were beautiful. They were beautiful. They were angels. And then the more that they sinned and the more they were prideful and wouldn't admit what they had done wrong and everything else, the uglier they got.
The uglier they got, yeah.
And then they eventually turned into demons.
Yeah. So I
think the same thing kind of goes with people too. Yeah. Because if you don't admit that you're wrong and just kind of it festers and you have a hardened heart and you become not just you become an ugly person on the outside where people can almost see it about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I used to tell my children, and this is so serious. I used to tell my daughter, baby, I was like, listen, you got to be beautiful on the inside and the outside. You're beautiful on the outside, but if your inside don't match your outside, if your inside don't match your outside, eventually your inside is going to match that what you're giving out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and if you're giving ugly, then you're going to be ugly. You're going to become ugly. I've seen it happen. Like you be you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's all about accountability. So that's one part. How do you feel? Okay, so and again, like you said, raising children at a young age made you want to say, okay, I want to go mess up. Now,
because you didn't get a chance to be
a kid. Okay, so and I felt like that because I do have a record. I have a record. And my record is
I don't have a record, but I got my butt in trouble.
I was fighting. My thing is fighting.
Yeah. I ran away at 13. So at 13 I was gone. I was good.
I started getting into that, but as because of bad attention, and then I talked about that yesterday.
Any attention
was good attention. But even if it was bad attention, you see what I'm saying? So we start acting out, start showing our tails, start running away. What happened?
Oh, what's wrong,
breathe, baby, breathe. Breathe. What happened? Let me see. What happened? What happened?
Over there.
And what happened?
I fell down.
You fell? And you hurt yourself? Okay. Do you feel better? Where it hurt? Let me see. Your tummy? Let me see that tummy. Ooh, it's okay. You hurt. Okay. I see. It's not that bad, but we could put some medicine on it when you get in, okay? Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. You want to go play again? So. Yeah.
So, all the mama kids did made better. She just made it better.
I understand that. Any attention is. I started sneaking out the house. I started doing stuff to act out, and it became, oh, you got mental issues, and that was the problem. It couldn't have been that, oh, she's screaming for attention or she's screaming for help.
Yeah.
It's, oh, you have mental issues.
Yeah.
Because you're not acting like a normal child. Like she had me locked up. I've been locked up in a detention center.
Oh, my mom took me down there and tried to have me locked up.
I was locked up in a detention center.
And then I got smart mouth for the cop. I'm surprised I didn't end up in that juvenile detention.
Well, I was in juvenile detention.
She and then I ran away after that, so she didn't have a chance to put me
Yeah, she put me in juvenile detention. I kept fighting, because I think one time I fought my brother. I did. But, I mean, what did he do? Did he break my glasses? It was something that was done. And I don't know if he broke my glasses and then I broke his PlayStation, or if I broke his PlayStation and then broke my glasses. Either way, we started fighting. And she wasn't having it. And so, oh, you got to get out. And so she took me down. I was probably every bit of like 15, probably 16, if that.
See, my mom married me off at 15.
Married you off?
Married me off, like an arranged marriage. I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. She had 150 people church with. Girl, my story took like a couple of books. I sit there.
Yeah, they say that too.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody. I mean,
girl,
no matter
I was screwed
what,
and screwed and nailed shut and screwed into the windows were in a 3-story house in connection to the Colonial Parkway murders of the guy that's been on TV now in Wilmer. Colonial Parkway murders. I worked on a clam boat with him when I was 13 and 14 years old.
Hey,
girl. Yes, absolutely. Seriously.
So you done been through
some shit.
Okay, but I'm recording. So based on us not having the childhood that we want, we grew up, we started causing trouble, having babies at young ages, and it's all because you feel like, yes, you were robbed of your childhood. You didn't get to have the childhood. So as of
I think she saw me as a problem. That's where I started thinking of seeing you with your mom when you breaking the PlayStation, which you were about the same age as me. So my mom was like, get rid of the problem. So she married me off.
Okay.
So that I became somebody else's problem.
So how do you feel like that affected you in your parenting? Like,
I feel like I had to be a wife and a mom at a really young age, because then I had a daughter and then a son, and then I had to be a wife too.
Right.
And then I'm cleaning the house and cooking, and I got a husband, and I got all these responsibilities.
Yeah, at a young
I'm a
age.
I'm a kid myself.
So I mean, did it, like, when I asked that question, I think what I want to ask is, did it affect your parenting in a positive way or a negative way?
I think both.
Okay.
I think both. It made me, like you were saying, want to be the parent and be there and be there. I did things for my kids that I wanted from my mom. Like I would work jobs that allowed me to be home with them, so I wasn't gone all the time like she was.
Right.
And so that I was able to take time off of work and spend with them and whatnot. So, what I wanted from my mom the most. Time.
Right. You gave it to your children.
Her time and stuff.
Now, do you feel like with grown children, because you have grown children, and I definitely see what you're saying, because I feel the same way about my children. You see what I'm saying? No matter what, I was always a stay-at-home mom. No matter what my circumstance was, I was still a stay-at-home mom. When I found a job, they'd be like, Mom, we miss you. Somehow the job would either stay or it would go, but either way, I would always end up back in the house with kids, and it was just like, okay, come on.
Because you felt how they felt without the parent.
So, with it affecting you in that way, and, we wanting best for our children, better for our children now, that your children are adults, do you see a different how your children treat you compared to how you would treat your mother? Are they wanting to be around you? Do they want to give you more? Have you seen a positive outcome in your children?
For a little while, and then no.
And then no.
And so I don't know what happened there, but like the two oldest that when I had when I was really young, they were around me for a long time, and we did things I didn't do with my mom and stuff like that. But then now they're distant to me.
Okay, so can you feel
distant, and they've been not nice to me.
So do you feel like there are some things as a parent that you might have failed them?
Yeah. And
that's why they're holding a little resentment, but they don't understand. See, and this is the part.
Yeah.
When our children don't understand, and I think even sometimes we at one point didn't understand, is that our parents were doing the best they could with what they had.
Yeah.
They might not have grew up with attention and time and love and affection, but we see that and we try to give that to our children. And then even though you saying you went through all of this, your children have they even tried to sit down and say, well, why did this happen, or what were you know what I'm saying, why did you do this? You see what I'm saying? They're not even trying to, because you were the parent. So it's not like, oh, I'm trying to understand my mom and where she came from. You see what I'm saying? But then it's I resent. And then all this time that you spend resenting, again, they're not forgiving you for what happened, and now they're about to turn into something ugly because
they're holding on to the anger and the bitterness versus coming to me and saying,
asking,
"Hey, this hurt," and
why did you do
this, or why did you do
and
that?
And I feel like you, and I'm going to say this personally, I'm getting tingles and chills right now. But what I'm saying is, you are communicating right now. It's giving that you are not the type of parent that's going to say, "Oh, I forgot."
Oh no!
You see what I'm saying?
Because I told you it's that select memory thing. If they don't want to talk about it, so they coincidentally forgot. They didn't forget.
Yeah, but
they just don't want to take accountability.
You give just in this little bit of time of us communicating. You give that. If my children were to come to me and ask me the questions that they're looking for, I will gladly give them the answers and explain what happened to me. Though that's not where I was trying to give them. I was trying to give them better, but I messed up too.
Yeah.
And it seems like you could take accountability. It's just your children need to open up and give you that chance.
Yeah, but I mean, with us, sometimes it takes time.
It do.
And so, I mean, however much time that they need, that's good.
So
I still love them just the same.
And I want to ask, like, where do you feel like you might have messed up? Because I know you were young, and you might have wanted. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes, Unico. Girl, go ahead, get across there. Do it. Do it. We'll figure it out. Keep going. Put your arms, swing your body. She's trying to figure out how to do it. I'm gonna teach you when I come back. Hold on, give me 5 more minutes, okay? So, you can admit that you messed up, and you know that you messed up somewhere along the way.
We all do. Nobody was prepared for.
What was the one big mistake that you feel like you may have made when raising your younger ones? Because you were young too. You were a child too. So what is the biggest mistake that you feel like may have been made in that situation?
Not doing more. I feel like, maybe I could have, done more, spent more time with them when they were younger. I don't know. I think there was I just had so much stress going on and things going on at the time.
Did you tell your children I love you on a daily? Did you hug them on a daily? So my next question is, do you feel like if you had been honest? Because to you, it seems like you grew up. Yes. Okay, take it down. Sit down and take it out. Do you feel like if you had been more honest with your children, just open with your children, you see what I'm saying? If you would have sat them down and you would have said, as they were growing up, because you were growing up with them. We were growing up. It's basically looking at. It seems like you're my sibling as close as age as
it's like a sibling-child relationship, which is a strange relationship.
Yeah. Especially at 15.
Yeah.
So when they had gotten older, maybe even 10 years old, you may have been, 20, 25 then. If you would have sat them down earlier, or even when they're 15. You see what I'm saying? And you're 30 years old, and you would have said, listen. Yes, I will. Give me a second. I'm coming. Okay? Go ahead, go play. If you would have sat down at 15 and said, hey, okay, I just want y'all to get a little understanding of where I come from. If you feel like you would have done that and opened their eyes a little bit at a younger age do you feel like that may have helped the resentment that they have now?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to explain it for, I guess, age appropriate for that
There
period
is
of time.
no age, and what I found is there is no age appropriate way to say it, because you were 15.
Right.
It was still young. You were still young. Not for nothing.
I was terrified.
It's
I was
keeping it
terrified.
honest and being real about your situation.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it might seem, how much you want to sugarcoat it for your younger babies. Listen, this is what happened to me when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was molested. I was this. I was that. This is what happened. And this is the person that done it to me.
Yeah.
So when you see me interact with that person, you'll see how the relationship is strained, because it's really not there. It's non-existent. And it's non-existent because this is the way they made it. You see what I'm saying? And like, you can't sugarcoat that. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It happened to me when I was younger, really young. So how would I sugarcoat that and say, okay, well, you're 15, but let me sugarcoat this? I can't, because
Right.
this is what I've been through. But I want you to know what I've been through, because I'm human.
I think with me, I just wanted to keep my kids. I didn't want them to know a lot of the stuff I had been
Keep them
through,
sheltered.
because I wanted to keep them innocent.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want them to go what I went through, because what I went through, what you went through,
Yeah. It's not innocent. It's not
innocent. It's a
But you know
terrible
what?
thing.
But you know what? It kind of opens their eyes to show them that they are innocent.
Yeah.
It does, because it shows them
true,
that
that's true.
I love you enough to keep you sheltered from that. I went through it. I've experienced it. But
Yeah.
that don't mean you're going to experience it.
Yeah,
That don't
that's
mean
true.
I'm going to be the same person that person was to me, to you. I chose
I
to
actually
raise you
chose
better.
to be completely opposite. in
Yeah,
life
and
find my
amen. Okay, that's that.
Okay, so she taught me what I didn't
Want to be as
what
a
I
mother.
didn't want for my kids.
Yeah,
And she taught me things that I wanted from my kids.
Yeah.
Or that I wanted from my mother, that I gave my kids, like we was just talking about. That I wanted from my mom. So I made sure that I was there to give them those things.
right,
So,
Yeah.
like we were talking about, a
Yeah.
lesson or a blessing,
Lesson
or both.
Lesson or both. Mm-hmm.
Because they teach you some things that are lessons that end up being a blessing. Because if I hadn't had such a hard childhood like that, then I wouldn't have wanted. Maybe I wouldn't have wanted to be there so much for my kids and make sure
that they didn't experience
that I didn't. And I was always hyper vigilant.
Uh-huh.
It makes you hyper vigilant to everybody who's around your kids. Like, or you're giving them the side eye. Like, are you a good influence on my kids or a bad influence? I don't know if I like your way of thinking or your way of life, and I don't want to rub off on my kids. Y'all stay over here.
But see, your children as they grow up, they didn't experience. They don't know the truth, but because they don't know the truth, they held that resentment because mom, they feel like something was missing. You feel like you gave your all at 15 years old, and I applaud you because you did. I'm not going to sit here and say that you didn't. You gave everything. I know you did.
Girl, I was trying, but I just felt like I could have done more. Maybe should have done more.
No, but you know what? At 15 and what
just-
you're experiencing, you can only give so much. So yeah, we hold on to that.
And I had a husband.
Yeah, like
girl,
that's too much.
She planned it. His mom planned it. My mom planned it.
That's too
They had
much.
150 people church wedded. I didn't even get to pick out my dress, the colors, nothing. They just had me show up. It was like an arranged marriage. Something you hear from a third world country. And
Gypsy?
huh?
You gypsy?
No, and my mama just lost her mind at that age. She apologized just recently for saying I should have never done that. And I'm thinking, and I was like,
but now, see, with you bringing that information up,
yeah,
that was a huge step for your mom.
yeah, to say she was sorry. She said
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have done that when you was 15. And I'm thinking, wow, okay, well. But then she just turned around and ruined it.
And then ruined it by something else.
She said by saying she wished I was never born.
Oh my. Okay. So what we're gonna do?
Yeah, she ruined that.
Is I don't know.
You don't say things like that to your kids. I mean, I told her she has 4 daughters, there's 4 of us. And I said, Mom, I can't imagine ever saying the things that you've said to us. It's cut to the bone stuff. It's like it's on purpose to cut to the bone.
It's supposed to, but it's supposed to like, oh, I reel you in and then hurt you.
You
know,
know, and then she gonna tell me how perfect her childhood was, and how her parents were this. And
Yeah,
that,
my mom
and she
was.
was cake. And all right, what is it? So what was you the the test dummy child? I'm saying, what's up with that? And then they take it out on you. Oh, well, I had a perfect childhood. Let's see what happens if I mess up one.
Yeah, my mom, she brags about her ponies and stuff that she had when she was younger.
Oh yeah, my mama too. Do they know each other?
Listen, so okay, if you could tell the people out there one thing, a couple of things, or maybe we're gonna narrow it down to one big thing. If we could go ahead and we could tell them one thing right now to help them get through a situation such as that we faced with whatever you might think might work for them, whether it's the parenting part, whether it's the going through it as a child part, whether it's the healing part of it all, accepting their flaws and say, okay, I forgive you, but not
You have to.
messing with
You have
again.
to admit when you were wrong or when you might not have done such
There
a
you go.
good job.
I'm gonna give Colette the
When
stage.
you've not done such a good job, you got to be able to willing to look in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I could have done a better job, and I messed up, and I'm sorry that I messed up, but this is what was going on at the time, and you kind of open my eyes to that, and no way of sugarcoating it, to say, you know, this is what I was going through at the time, and you know, I'm sorry that affected my parenting, you know, but this is what I was going through, and just be truly sorry, and
don't be
I mean,
sorry. You're not a sorry person, but
I mean,
it's
no,
okay to be apologetic about it.
It is
because
okay to be
there you go.
apologetic about it because you don't want your kids to hold on to the anger and bitterness that we held on to for a long period of time, because you know our mothers won't even admit it.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and the first step to have any kind of problem is
taking accountability
taking
that you did something
and admitting that you were wrong about it. And I just think, too, what I was saying is, if you let the angerness and the bitterness take over for you, you know, you're letting that person win and take the rest of your life.
Okay. So if you,
We'll get the
go
baby.
ahead.
Get
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
baby.
go get him. You tell the people one more thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna cut it off. Come on, you should be on this side. No, you here. Why
I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, but I just say about that, is, you know, she said there's no way of sugarcoating them, and that's true, because I didn't want to say certain things because they were little. I didn't know how to say it that was age appropriate, I thought, for them, but
right?
you know, I mean, parenting doesn't come with an instruction booklet.
No, it doesn't.
You know, so you're just basically trying to make better decisions than you had as a kid, and you want better for your kids than what you had. And you don't want them to experience at least any of the bad stuff that you went through as a kid, so you try to be really protective over them. And I think, you know, sometimes when you've been through a tremendous amount of stuff like you and I, or like a lot of people have, that you, I don't know, you're more protective over them because you don't let them around certain people, because you yourself have learned there's a lot of people that can't be trusted.
Amen. Okay, and I think what I want to go ahead and just explain and just say is the one thing that I've learned is, first of all, forgiveness. Don't just forgive others, you know what I'm saying, that may have hurt you. You have to forgive yourself. Because at some point, whether you didn't tell, whether you didn't stick up for yourself, whether you didn't, it's some part of you that needs to forgive you as well as the other person. Sometimes forgiving the other people doesn't work. You know, you have to look deep inside and say, okay, well, I've also hurt other people, or because of what I went through, I need to forgive myself for going through that, not telling somebody, and then forgive myself for the hurt that I've caused other people. So my number one thing I'm going to say today is start with forgiveness. Always. I love y'all. Again, I don't know what this is, but we're doing it.
Exactly.
See y'all later.